This is big breaking emergency news. A major U.S. city is under siege right now, and officials for the city are warning that multiple buildings have been taken over and multiple areas of the city have been taken over as well. And law enforcement and officials have lost control. They no longer control these parts and regions of their own city. That's what's happening right now in the United States, and the situation is deteriorating. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit it up for me down there, hitting that like and that subscribe helps to get these warnings out, and I'm posting multiple videos a day to keep you guys updated on all this big news. All right, so city officials coming out of Aurora, Colorado right now. This is a major suburb of Denver, Colorado. They are warning that multiple areas and buildings inside the city of Aurora, Colorado have been taken over and are under siege right now. The city no longer has control, and she is saying that the police department is not responding as well. And citizens are upset about this. Citizens are slightly panicking because they've been making complaints and calling the police and want a response, and the police have been refusing to respond, according to citizens on the ground there in Aurora, Colorado. All right, so this is a big situation, and these buildings and these areas need to be reclaimed and need to potentially even have the National Guard go in soon. All right, so let's get into the details here. This is what's going on in Aurora. All right, and this is normally a very nice suburb of Colorado. Right, this is normally of Denver, sorry. This is normally a nice area, and it is being taken over right now. That's what City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky of the Aurora City Council, this is what she's warning of right now. She's saying that, and I repeat, this is what she is saying, responding to multiple videos showing what's going on in Aurora, Colorado right now. And she said, I repeat, a gang has taken over several apartment complexes inside of Aurora, Colorado. Okay. And also multiple different areas have been taken over as well, and police are not responding to these areas. They've essentially become no-go zones, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly where this stuff is. Also, allegedly, a Target in Aurora, Colorado too is being affected, and business is essentially being slowed very heavily at this Target because people don't want to go here because this is part of the region that has been taken over. All right, and this is allegedly due to a gang, and they're saying this is the Tren de Aragua gang. That's allegedly what's being reported, has taken over multiple different buildings inside of Aurora. And this is even coming from Danielle Jurinsky, city council member. It says here, an armed gang from Venezuela has reportedly taken full control of multiple apartment complexes and parts of the town of Aurora, Colorado. It says new footage reveals an armed gang at a complex in Aurora. Aurora officials have been investigating this gang that I mentioned a second ago, a Venezuelan group involved in human smuggling, violence, money laundering, and illegal substance trafficking across the U.S., including at the Nome Street apartment complex in Aurora. While local reports claim the complex is shutting down due to code violations, many believe this is just a cover for a larger issue. Quote, we are not buying it. We believe there are code violations, but this all started with a gang takeover. That's what Aurora City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky said. All right, so she is saying that multiple buildings and apartment complexes, she said several, have been taken over, and police are not responding. All right, and somebody owns these buildings, and somebody used to live in these buildings too. Okay, people were living here, and they became so dangerous and so unsafe that people were forced to move out. All right, so people are being forced to move out of these buildings, and the surrounding regions are becoming extremely volatile, right? And says crime at the complex has surged and incidents are spiraling out of control. There's been multiple different casualties in this region as well every week. It's been going on. And it says a huge pile of trash has accumulated outside of the complexes as well, right? And residents report that most of this started around 6 or 7 months ago, but it's reached a tipping point where things are getting really bad, where they're taking over entire regions. All right, it's being reported that also at the Target in Aurora, Colorado, that's at 1400 South Havana Street. Right, they're saying that this Target is also experiencing issues, especially at nighttime. They're saying that people are not shopping there and are not going there because a lot of these gangs are hanging out in the parking lot and in these shopping centers and are even having big parties, big gatherings, big events going on even at this Target, right? And this is right near this area. And this is also not too far from Cherry Creek State Park as well in Aurora. And this is a beautiful part of the country, right? It's a nice park. I've been to this park. I've been to this part of the country many times. I love Colorado. And even my hat I'm wearing, right? It's from Colorado. But the city and the state is being allowed to deteriorate in front of us, right? They're allowing these things to happen through their policies, and the police are not even responding as well. Citizens are upset. Citizens are worried. They've been making complaints and calls, and nobody will do anything, right? There's no response from law enforcement. They're just saying, oh, this is they just keep diverting it. Oh, this is a code issue. This is a police issue. They bounce it back to the police. This is a city council issue, right? They all just keep bouncing it back and forth to each other. And this is extremely dangerous, right? Because this is also creating a launching base where essentially allowing parts of our city and our country to be given over to these criminal organizations, and they could use these as launching bases to commit even more crimes, okay? And they're also targeting the mail right now too in Colorado, okay? Let me know down below if you live in Colorado, or if you used to live there and you moved, or you still live there and you like it, right? I love Colorado, right? But certain things like this are creating a crisis there. And it says there's also a mail emergency that's been declared in Colorado too, right? They're targeting the mail and stealing all the mail in some of these mountain towns here, right? It says mail emergency issued in Colorado mountain town after thieves target multiple post office locations, right? It says residents in Summit and Clear Creek County are dealing with a, quote, postal emergency as thieves appear to be targeting post offices and postal boxes in the area. Investigators with the Dillon Police Department and the United States Postal Inspection Services say post office locations in Silverthorne, Dillon, Coppermountain, and Idaho Springs have all been hit. And it says on Saturday, August 24th, Dillon Police Chief Cale Osborne says officers responded to the first report of an alarm at the Dillon Post Office. While they found no forced entry, detectives launched an investigation. All right, so they think that somebody broke into one of these post office and stole the keys, master keys, and now they're getting into all the other ones, all right? And these are like nice, quiet mountain towns, Silverthorne, Dillon. This is probably like an hour and a half outside of Denver. Okay, these are nice little mountain towns where nothing really happens. So this is kind of a big deal that's this happened here, right? And I've been to these places too. I love this area. Beautiful area. But they're just allowing things to really slip away there, right? And it says on Monday, August 26th, Silverthorne officials say their post office was hit. According to a city spokesperson, a laptop and mail were reported stolen, and it's believed that the suspect entered the building with the stolen master keys taken during the break-in at the Dillon post office, right? And it says the next day. So this is like an organized thing. They keep doing this, and you'd think the post office would be on like high alert, all the ones in the areas after this happened, but it kept happening. And it says the next day, August 27th, thieves broke into the Dillon post office again, and police officers responded and arrested a woman from Aurora who was wanted on a no bond warrant. Okay? So, woman from Aurora is coming over here and stealing all the mail. What's going on? A lot of weird stuff happening in Colorado. And it says the U.S. Postal Inspection Services is now investigating each of these cases. In a statement, spokesperson Melissa Atkins said, quote, "The security of the U.S. mail is very important to us, and any leads associated with those responsible for these burglaries is greatly appreciated and will be promptly pursued," right? So these are probably felonies, breaking in the post office, stealing mail, all this stuff. Probably major felonies that are going on, right? So lots of chaos coming out of Colorado. And let me know down below if you are in Aurora, okay? If you've seen any of this stuff, if you've been to this Target. People say it's on and off. Sometimes you go there and it's fine. Other times you go there and it's a complete takeover. I've seen videos where the entire parking lot of this Target I mentioned on Havana Avenue, which is right next to these apartment complexes, it was chaos. There was thousands of people, and people were blasting off firearms into the air. Okay, there were people doing burnouts. It was crazy. It was wild. There was just like trash everywhere. It was like a giant block party takeover for this Target in Aurora. Okay, so let me know if you guys have seen any of this stuff. If you've been in Aurora, I haven't been there in a little while, right? A couple years now. But it seems like things have gotten a lot worse in the past 2 years there, right? And people are saying, especially the last 6 to 7 months, this has really popped up. So let me know if you've seen anything or heard anything. I was there a couple years ago now, 2 years ago now, in Aurora, right? I've been to other places in Colorado a little more recently, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, right? They weren't dealing with a situation like this. This is accelerating because it's like the more they get away with, this gang, the more brazen they're going to be. They're going to take over more complexes. They took over one. Now they're taking over more. The city councilwoman says there's several they're taking over, and people are reporting several. This whole area of Aurora is just like a no-go zone for a lot of people, and even the police will not respond to things happening in this region. So thank you guys. Make sure you guys are getting prepared and getting ready. Make sure you are able to protect yourself and defend yourself and your family. All right, that's critical coming into the future. We're going to be dealing with more events like this, so make sure you are able to defend yourself legally and lawfully and protect your family. All right, it's important, guys. So thank you guys. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.